Casting live from Scottsdale, Arizona, which is absolutely ridiculously hot right now. I mean, like fully and completely ridiculously hot. We were 110 yesterday. It's nothing like October and 110 degrees. Don't worry, it's a dry heat. I got nowhere to go. I'm actually going to go back to the Virgin Islands, and when I go back to the Virgin Islands in about a week, it's still like 88 there. It's not good. It's not good at all. I guess I could complain. At least it's not Chicago in February. I have I have been there. I have done that. Uh, or Calgary. I don't. As somebody just chimed in there from Calgary, it's awesome. Mm. I'm not. I'm not going to complain about the heat when I think about you in a few months there, again in Calgary. With that, welcome everybody. We're going to get started here momentarily. As we do kind of get started, one of the first things, just kind of off the cuff, looking at markets today. So a little bit of a recovery inside of the broader marketplace. So as you guys are kind of hopping on here, I'll just talk about markets for a brief minute. Kind of a limited recovery inside of markets. You have the Nasdaq, which is up not even a 0.5%. Tesla, which was weighing on the entire marketplace, is actually coming back up a little bit here. This has to do with their Q3 sales numbers. It wasn't exactly ecstatic. The markets were not ecstatic with the results. Nvidia, though, is keeping that marketplace higher at this point. The one standout, and continues to be a standout, and something that we're going to mention quite in depth today, though, is just take a big time out from the whole marketplace for a second. You realize this is zooming out in time. If you're looking at my screen right now, that is a marketplace, and I'll zoom in, that we're literally a couple of days removed from an all-time high. Everybody realize that, right? So a few days removed from an all-time high. Great, we're high-fiving one another. What is so unusual at this point is how high volatility happens to be. And I know there's going to be commentary. Well, volatility should be high. There's geopolitical risk, or volatility should be high. There's an election coming, or volatility should be high. The Fed's coming out. The crazy thing, right, is that volatility is ripping high in the futures market that's only 14 days out. Now, a lot of people don't look at that kind of stuff, but it says, okay, in as clear as day here, in the next 14 days, because this contract expires in the next 14 days, the volatility is at 20. I know a lot of people look at VIX. Forget about VIX for a second. Because the VIX is not a traded product. Like the VIX is an equation. The options in the VIX are traded, but the options in the VIX are based on these, right? This is a futures market. And a lot of people are not familiar, and that's okay. But the volatility is higher in the next 14 days than it is in the next 49 days. And it has been even before the geopolitical risk really heated up. So the market sees something right in front of it. It's like the next 2 weeks, we're going to get crazy. Okay, keep that in mind. I wanted to start with that today because I think it fits and lends itself beautifully into talking about 24-hour profit windows. Again, I want you to remember one of the key takeaways from today. I'm just hitting you with it right up front. One of the key takeaways today: volatility. All right, and that's not my interpretation of volatility. Volatility is saying that risk in the next 14 days is definitively going to be higher than it is in the next 49 days. Clearly, this can change, okay? But something, okay, is driving that risk metric before there was geopolitical risk. We know there's an election coming up, but in the next 14 days, things are going to get freaky in this marketplace. Get down to it. 24-hour profit windows. My name is Don Kaufman. As I said a moment ago, I'm joining you live from Scottsdale, Arizona. I live most of the year in the Virgin Islands. This time of the year, we tend to avoid the Virgin Islands because, well, there's a lot of storms out in the Atlantic right now. I'll head out there in about 10 days from now. Here's a risk disclosure. Okay, we're not financial advisors nor a broker dealer. And I read that off because I spent quite a bit of my career inside of the brokerage business. I like this. No soliciting, no recording, no photography. We record it. Don't feed the monkeys. Okay. I always wanted to add that into the risk disclosure. I don't think legal will like that. Don't feed the monkeys. Copyright disclaimer. The only reason I throw this up here, look, if you need to get a hold of me after today, we answer emails here. Okay. Support at theotrade.com. Again, you go to support at theotrade.com. Just put my name in the subject. It goes directly to me. We have a phone number. We do answer it, 800-256-8876. Few housekeeping items. Look, in the next hour, I am going to cover a lot. And I'm going to tell you something about, when I do a presentation like this, even if you've been to presentations I've done in the past, okay? How many people here have been to presentations I've done in the past? You will know one thing about me. Every single presentation I'm going to do is dramatically different. I am a very strong believer of, let's go out here. Let's get crazy. Let's put some positions on. Okay, let's look at stuff live. I'm not big on PowerPoints. Okay, if I'm not willing to trade it live, then what's it for? By the way, this is a pretty quiet crew. These are not rhetorical questions. You can jump in here at any time you want. So again, how many people have actually been to a presentation that we've done in the past? Anybody? Okay. How about this? Who here is brand new? Have no idea what the hell you're about to get involved in? I just asked two opposing questions. I'm just looking for all the me's. Just, there's a few hundred people on right now. I just want to see if anybody's awake. Anyway, as I jump into this, a few housekeeping items. I would shut down anything that might distract you. And the reason I would do that is I go through a lot. Okay. And if you haven't noticed, okay, I speak at probably, 85 words a minute, and I'm trying to slow myself down. So phone's on silent mode. Kick out the kids. Definitely kick out the kids. Kick out the grandkids. The dog can stay, but everything else is out of the contest. Took the time to be here. Focus, people. Look, here's a little bit about me. I'm just going to give like the nickel tour. Some people, again, there's a lot of people, in fact, that are brand new. Okay, cool. Somebody said new. That is smart. If you're brand new, a little bit about me, my background. I know that everybody has this, story of how they got involved in trading, right? And I don't want to make it a long and arduous process here to explain this, but the bottom line is this. People are like, I was a teacher, then I was a trader, or famously, I was a taxi cab driver, and then I was a trader. I grew up around it. I actually grew up around traders, and people often ask me, when did you learn about this? It's an interesting question. I have no idea. And when I say I have no idea, I remember as a little kid going to the floor of the Chicago, Board Options Exchange, and we went to the floor. My family actually lived in New York, and my uncle lived in Chicago, and we would go to Chicago and we go to the floor the day after Thanksgiving is, bring a kid down to the floor day. So I used to go down to the floor even when I was like a little kid. But I remember conversations at the dinner table as a kid. We're in the money, out of the money, calls, puts, implied volatility. So I've been around it my entire life. I never, ever had an intention of going into this business. Okay. I was 3 weeks out of college. I was thinking about going to medical school. I got a call from a cousin of mine, said, come to Chicago. We had a clerk quit. I heard you're out of school. Yada, yada, yada. 3 weeks later, I'm eating ramen noodles. And then I was actually clerking on the floor. And only about 3 weeks after that, this is actually the summer of 1998. If anybody remembers 1998, what happened in summer of 98? What happened? Besides Monica Lewinsky. It was long-term capital management, people. Okay. Anyway, I traded in Chicago. I met a couple traders in the OEX pit. And one of the traders is a gentleman by the name of Tom Sosnoff. Tom and I hit it off. Tom's, 20 years older than me, but Tom and I hit it off. He goes, you're young, have no idea what the hell you're going to do. You got to get off the trading floor. He's like, you're smart, get off the trading floor. I'm also 5'8". It's not a great height for the trading floor. And I traded right next to his group. And they invited me to a startup called Thinkorswim. I joined Thinkorswim. I was on the executive team when we took the company public in 2007. People always ask me, how was it? It was awesome. It was great. It was a huge exit too. Like, the first time we actually did the deal in 2007, okay, I was basically out of college for 9 years, okay, set for life. I then was there when we were acquired by TD Ameritrade. In 2009, early 2009, we were acquired by TD Ameritrade. I signed a 5-year lockup clause with TD Ameritrade. I exited TD Ameritrade, and I went on to run their entire education division of TD Ameritrade. At one point, we had 768 people in our organization there, which was a wild time. I exited TD Ameritrade, waited almost a year, and we actually launched and built TheoTrade. And that's kind of where TheoTrade comes from. Many of the people that work here at TheoTrade, whether it's Jeff Bierman, Brandon Chapman, Blake Young, this was actually some of the core crew. Todd Sweet, this is some of the core crew that was actually on the original Thinkorswim team. In fact, Jeff Bierman built most of the charts specifically for Thinkorswim. And people always ask me, am I still in touch with Tom Sosnoff? Of course, Tom built Tasty. Tom and I still talk rather frequently now. He was just actually out here in Scottsdale just a few weeks ago. So, by the way, I'm back and forth between Thinkorswim and Tasty. Okay, in my opinion, for what it's worth, these are the only two brokerage platforms that are like real and spectacular. But in any regard, that's kind of where I come from. And one of the aspects that I'm going to focus on quite dramatically is the way that we actually teach this stuff is, look, we got to see everything that you did for the better part, okay, of like 20 years, meaning that we got to see all of your client order flow. Everything you've ever done, okay, we have seen. That's how we actually built the Thinkorswim platform. It's how we built education at Thinkorswim. It's how we built education at TD Ameritrade, is by looking specifically at your order flow. And we had the largest order flow in the entire world at that point in terms of both stocks, options, and futures contracts. And what you're going to learn here today, and really today, specifically this strategy, comes from watching billions and others' mistakes. All right, I still do some TV appearances. This is actually TD Ameritrade TV. This is obviously CNBC, where they pitted me against Kevin O'Leary. Let's get down to business. Look, this is why you're here. We're going to talk a little bit about profit windows, okay, and what the 24-hour profit window really kind of amounts to. We're going to cover what these profit windows specifically are. Like, why do we call it a 24-hour profit window? Well, I'm just going to, foreshadow for a second. Basically, right, we've got these windows of opportunity that are opening. In those windows of opportunity, you have approximately a day to get into the trade. Okay. As that profit windows opens, fantastic. We're in. We'll discuss the specific trades here momentarily. Why these profit windows are opening over and over. Okay. Right now, we're going to talk about a confluence of events, but right now, it's spectacular out there in terms of this particular strategy. It's spectacular. Look, things kind of ebb and flow. It has been a long time since we've actually seen markets like they're presently in and the conditions like we're presently in. And we're going to be in this now for a very considerable period of time. I'll explain that as well, and how to take advantage, of course, of these time sensitive windows. I mean, one of the most important things over here is, talk is cheap. How are you actually going to execute? When I say execute, what I'm talking about today, you, okay, and you alone, you got to translate and say, how am I going to take what he just said there, okay, and put it in to a trade execution, for instance, right here. Like, how are you actually going to translate that? And that's exactly what I'm going to get into. Before I go any further in today's presentation, I want you guys to know everything we do here, everything we do is a complete open book. You're going to see me bring up some trades. The trades, for instance, this is in silver. Okay, this is in silver. I want you to know you can see everything I do, every execution, every price that I buy something for, sell it for. Okay, P&L, it's all there for you to see. Okay, so complete open book here at TheoTrade. That's critically important to us, right? So we're going to show you what the profit windows are, why these profit windows are opening over and over, and how to actually execute upon the idea. So an idea is one thing. Everybody's got an idea. You need to turn it into profitability, execution. All right. With that being said, I've been all over this. Okay. These profit windows keep opening. Right now, I'm 24 for 28 on these profit windows, which more than happy to actually show you the entire portfolio as well. When I talk about like a portfolio, You'll actually see me bring this up. Okay, this is literally the trades to open to close, to close to open. Okay, I'll show you everything. As I said, we're a complete open book here, and I want you to know, all right, what trades are on, which trades are off. But 28 windows. This is the kind of the most current streak, obviously, that we're in, and I'll show you again many of these trades. All right. So let's get down to business. What is a 24-hour profit window? Well, okay, what they're going to amount to is trades like this. This is a trade, and again, I want to just take you through this briefly so you guys kind of have an understanding of where we're going. This is a trade. This is a trade that was sent out as an alert. So we're not just here, discussing like, what do you think about this trade? This is a trade that was sent out as an alert. Okay, the trade and the origin of the trade and the actual date and time is right here. Okay, that's on 9:30. So when was it? It was Monday. What's this? This is today. All right, this was this morning. So I opened this trade on Monday. Profit window opened on Monday for 86 cents, and I was able to actually get out of this pretty rapidly here for about a 33% gain. Every $86 invested, I got back 114. Now, not bad for a day. Now, just time out for a second. This is a trade that obviously, again, not only did I execute the trade today, and I'm showing you, this is a screenshot. That screenshot comes right here from Thinkorswim. And I was actually showing this a moment ago. If I go in here and I type in SLV, okay, you can see both the opening transactions and closing transactions, okay, here on my Thinkorswim platform. And we ain't paper trading, people. Okay, when I say that, I'm not trying to be facetious. You can see I've got no positions left in here, but this was a NOV 1, a NOV 1. I want you to see something even more interesting, okay, because this I actually rather enjoy showing. Take a look at the volume and open interest in here. This is volume, this is open interest. Let me actually change the color here, make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. Because again, I put a lot of weight into, when we send out an alert, okay, people trade. Take a look at the contract size of what I traded today. So, and again, that's not me trading 3,000 contracts. Look at the open interest of what we trade. So right now, we're well over 5,000 contracts have already traded, okay, based on this SLV alert, right? And that's important. So it's important because I'm not just here talking about trading. We're executing, okay, and literally tens of millions of dollars are being traded against these alerts, because people always ask, oh, let's see a track record, let's see this. Okay, better than any of that, who's actually trading? Who's trading in here right now? And the answer is, okay, we are. And I got to tell you, inside of SLV, which is the silver ETF, right? Look at the number of calls trading today, and we have a lot to do with that. A lot to do with that. So onward. This is the first trade I just wanted to show you because it was something that was literally opened on Monday, closed. Okay. Today, every $86 I invested, I got back 114. One other very small caveat to this, very small caveat. You don't have to play to the lowest common denominator. Like you can do every $860. I can get back, 1,100 and all right, and $40. This is very reasonable. That would be different contract size, right? So, because when people look at this, they go, for $86, is it like worth my time? Look, you can trade any size you want in here, any size you want, and that's important. Okay. Oh, cool. Somebody just came in and said they got a fill for $1.14 over there. So okay, cool. A couple of people got into this one. The next one, this is a little bit of an older one. It's older, but I mean, it ended, in September. This is an Apple. Every $170 I invested, I got back 233. It's a 37% return. Next one in here is actually Boeing. This one's a little older. Every $117 invested, I got back 182. This is a 56% return. So I don't mind saying this to people. Okay. You make 30% or more in the first 3 days, we're out. If it takes longer than 3 days, then we have to shoot for a 55% return. You're going to see a lot of 30% returns and a lot of 55% returns here, period. Okay. Here's XLE. In the XLE, if people look at this, they go, it's 56% return. It's exactly like the other one. Of course it is, because every $94 I invested, I got back 147. I actually use on many of these orders, okay, if you look at like XLE, okay, I use what's termed GTC, which is good till canceled orders, meaning that I open the trade. Okay. I open the trade, I send out an alert, and then I use what's termed a GTC, good till cancel, to be able to get out of it. GTC, basically, when it hits my price point, ding, it fills. Okay. And I know that that's right around a 55% gain. All right. Then we're actually looking at TLT. By the way, you'll notice that I trade a lot of ETFs. What are ETFs? TLT, spiders, IWM, like XLE, right? So I like the TLT. The other thing is, I don't mind saying this, I trade the same things again and again and again and again. I don't care. Like, you'll see so many examples here in the TLT. That's because they're not examples. That's because I trade that sucker a lot. If you actually go into my account statement, you go into my account statement here and you type in TLT, just wait for it, wait for it. Let's look at the last 120 days. Look, I don't even know what I did over the last 120 days, but I know that I trade the TLT a lot. Survey says, pull it up already. There it is. So, okay, this is the last 120 days. I opened a position, I closed a position, I opened a position, I closed a position, I opened a position. Okay, you go, they all kind of look the same. It's a 95, 97, 95, 97. Okay, they all kind of look the same because when something works, you keep doing it to death. I like it. And, people try to make this business so much more difficult than it has to be. When something works, do more of it. When it doesn't work, do less of it. You ever think of that? The simplicity of it? Again, on this TLT trade, this is another one. Every $86 I invested, I got back 142. You will see absolute, okay, sheer consistency in everything I do. I'm emphatic about it. All right. Look, confluence of three forces. What we're going to jump into right now is what makes a 24-hour profit window. Okay. Well, it's confluence of three forces. Right now, you got skew, you got expected move, and you need to be the GOAT. Okay. By the way, if you have absolutely no idea what GOAT means, it means greatest of all time. The GOAT of liquidity. To give you a quick example, and I'm going to talk about these three concepts in detail. Here's XHB. All right. This is actually a fun one because rarely do I ever open and close a trade on the same day, but I wanted you to see every $88 invested, I got back 117. GLD, every $110 invested, I got back 179. This is a 63% return. Again, ETFs, I like XHB, I like GLD. Here's one in XLF. Every $84 invested, I got back 134. It's a 60% return. But let's go deeper. Now, let's get into it. Okay, who's the GOAT? Let's get deeper over here. Why are the windows opening now? It's happenstance. Oh, it's a confluence of events. It's this. Let's get into the details though. Okay. First of all, there's quite a number of forces that are coming together, right? And conditions have been good, okay, but conditions are spectacular right now. First of all, two-sided trade. Okay. So let's go over to a trading application and just talk about what two-sided trade is. One of the best examples I could give you of two-sided trade. Okay, look at something like Apple. All right, just time out for a second. Let's look at Apple. Now, there was a point in time where Apple, and again, I'm not a big chart guy. If you guys haven't figured that out, maybe you guys don't know about me. I'm not big into technical analysis. I grew up in this business and we are quants, okay, quantitative. Everything for me has to have some like mathematical meaning. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything, which I'll explain. But if you look at this, the most simplistic idea that I could give you right now is two-sided trade. That is not two-sided trade. This, okay, is two-sided trade. And this is two-sided trade. Choppy, okay, disconnected, ugly. Love it. Absolutely love it. You want to see some of the most wild two-sided trade? Look at the IWM this year. This is the Russell. Look at the Russell. People are like, it's dramatically higher. Really? It's up 9%. Okay. This has been like, if this were a roller coaster, you would have puked already. All right. Oh, this thing is awesome. Okay. You can't ask for better than that because people kind of think when we're talking about like a confluence of events, it's opening right now. No, it's been open. Like this year, okay, it's on right now. And I'm actually going to show you why it's so good. You want to see another cool one? Look at Microsoft. It's up dramatically. No, it's not. It's up 13%. Okay. This is a fun-filled cluster right now. Two-sided trade, okay, is everywhere, even in NVIDIA lately. NVIDIA, which everybody's like, it only goes higher. Actually, it hasn't gone higher since, early June. It's gone even slightly lower, but it's back to two-sided trade. Everywhere you look is predominantly two-sided trade, except if you look at the spiders. The spiders have a lot of one-sidedness to them, right? That's the S&Ps. So trying to find like candidates and so forth right now, not crazy. Like look at some of this stuff. I know that this is at highs, okay, but the two-sided trade has been phenomenal. I'll see one of my favorites too. This is the XLE. It's the energy sector. Okay, two-sided trade. I just wanted to throw that out there. The next thing, okay, volatility. Volatility has returned. Now, some people look at VIX. Just bear with me on this thought. VIX is my predecessor's volatility indicator. Okay, I don't really dig the VIX all that much because the VIX it's nothing more than an equation, but you can make the argument, sure, in the last few months the volatility has returned. Okay, but what you'd be missing when you're saying like volatility returns, you're not looking at stuff like VVIX, volatility, the volatility index. Okay, now this thing is heated right now. Okay, and it has been heated for what? July, August, September. You're 3 months into a heated VVIX, and you go, I don't even know what the VVIX is. It's the volatility of the VIX. Okay, it's not even important that you actually know what it is. But what it's indicative of is the market has been greatly destabilized. It's a destabilizing factor. Like if you want to know what VVIX is, I want you to think in your head, what is VVIX? It's volatility of the volatility index. Who the hell cares what that means? It doesn't mean anything. Okay, volatility. This is the destabilizing factor. You really want to know exactly what it is? When the VVIX, and it's the symbol VVIX, and you guys can read all about it. Who cares? You don't have to. Okay, what you want to know about when the VVIX is higher, and it is much higher. That line over there, I drew that. That's the 110 level. When the VVIX is at that level, you're supposed to like get under your desk and rock back and forth and hope for like better days. Okay, that's how wild it is right now. Now, there's no question this is geopolitical risk influenced. Okay, but this thing has been above the 110 a lot, like more than most years. If you actually look back over like the last 5 years, obviously this is COVID induced volatility. But if you look back, okay, there was a big bearish year in here and it was barely up this high. It's so weird right now where markets are at all-time highs and the VVIX is like, beware. But here's the bottom line for the VVIX. You ready? What the VVIX actually says, it says professionals, okay, are hedging. Professionals, okay, are reducing risk. That's what it really means. Okay, that's what it means. All right, onward and upward. Next, we talk about skew. What is skew? So when we're talking about this confluence of events, right? You got two-sided trade, which is markets just bouncing. Then you've actually got obviously some volatility indicators that are up, but the skew is big. Skew provides a very finite advantage. When I bring up skew, okay, and hey, by the way, any trading application can do this. You don't have to have Thinkorswim, cruise over to Tasty and you go, I'm gonna type in skew. Okay, you go to skew and you go to the charts. Okay, and it's like a bunch of dots on your chart, and you're like, what the? Okay, what are you trying to do over here? Okay, and the truth is, skew is only calculated at the end of the day. I'm going to tell you what skew is in a second, but I want you just to see on the surface. This is for 15 years. Okay, 15 years. That's skew right here, specifically, right freaking now, right now. It's higher than it's ever been before historically. Okay, skew is it's distortion. What kind of distortion? What you're actually looking at right now is a record distortion of out of the money put implied volatility versus out of the money call implied volatility. And people go, I have no idea what that means. That's okay. All right. We're taking advantage. When I talk about skew advantage, what we're doing is taking advantage of a distortion in option pricing. And the distortion in option pricing actually causes the trade itself to be far more effective. It's also a lot cheaper to be able to get into the trade, which is one of the reasons it's far more effective. So, and by the way, there's no if, and, or but about this. If you're thinking about like, oh, the confluence of events and you've heard some crap before, it's right in front of you. Okay. You can look back yourself if you want, you go to a 5-year. Okay. We have never seen this many prints. Okay. Starting this year, we've never seen this many prints above 150 in any combined year ever, right? And you're wondering why this crap is actually working right now, okay? And it's not abating. It's, if anything, it's been getting better. We just had 3 weeks ago the highest print ever, Okay. I mean, this crap is it's just crazy. And again, you go back over 15 years, there's nothing even comes close to this. Right. And I'm going all the way back here. Okay. All the way back in 2011. It's good stuff. And the skews are not just, by the way, skew actually represents the S&Ps. It's reverberating through every ETF product, every one of the equity products. Okay. It has been spectacular. Now, okay, the last one here that's important is also expected move. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I don't have expected move. Okay, just calm down. First of all, I'm going to explain expected move. You ready? Okay, expected move. And I love explaining it because I have this trade on right now. It's in Home Depot. Okay, I have a Home Depot trade on, and I want to show you what's called auto expected moves. Now, just time out what we're looking at here. Let me zoom in. Okay, again, I could pull up screenshots and show you slides and PowerPoints. Forget all that crap. You got to go to the marketplace. What's real? What's real? This is real. You want to see something insane? Okay. Now, we all know, okay, the entire Eastern Seaboard, first of all, it's got a strike going on, but secondly, it's also had major hurricane damage. So Home Depot should probably be up substantially. Okay, but that strike eventually could impede upon it. But here's the really crazy thing. The crazy thing is the options marketplace. What these three lines represent, it's how the option marketplace is handicapping forward risk. What that basically means is, okay, when you look at these three lines, they represent what's called expected move. Let me show you expected move. In the next 2 days, okay, look, this is for October 4th. In the next 2 days, take it over to here. The expected move is $7.32. You don't know if it's going higher or lower, okay? But what this study is actually doing, by the way, almost every study that you use in this business is driving 100 miles an hour looking through the rear view mirror. This study is actually taking the options marketplace and using it to handicap risk forward. What's so cool about it, it's a very quantitative study. The options marketplace in Home Depot was wrong once, was wrong twice, was wrong 3 times. It's now wrong a 4th time. This, okay, is a great profit window that has actually opened. It's a great one. Okay. And I already have that trade on. So we'll come back to that. But I wanted to show you like expected move. You go, oh, that's interesting. You want to see something also interesting? Look at Tesla. Tesla today, okay, had a wild and woolly move to the downside. Wild and woolly move. Why? Because when the numbers came out, okay, of how many cars it sold, everybody was like, oh, it hit the lower edge and bounced. You will see us riding on the upper edge, riding on the upper edge. Okay. But I just wanted to show that to you because this is another one that had an open window in it. It just goes on and on and on. It's such a cool, okay, and fascinating way to look at markets. But it's not just expected move, and it's not just looking at skew, or it's not just looking at volatility or two-sided trade. It's the confluence of all of these. Take a look at like XLU. This is one that I actually opened May 17th, closed on May 23rd. Every $77 invested, I got back $123. That's a 60% return. Again, I remind you, this doesn't need to be $77. It could be $770 to get back what? $1,230. Here's XLY. Boy, the more I look at this, the more I realize I really like ETFs. This one's open what? July 31st, closed on August 1st. Every $84 invested, I got back 113. It's 35% return. Here's Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, every $95 invested, I got back 155. It's a 63% return. Okay. That ain't bad for what? Like 10 days. Okay. The final confluence. What else do you need? So I'm showing you a little bit about expected move. And by the way, I'm going to come back to that. Okay. And I'm showing you about volatility and skew. What's the final confluence? And this one sounds so simple. So simple. You ready? GOAT. Okay. You need to be the GOAT. What is the GOAT? It's got to be the greatest of all time. Now, without going into any detail, okay, I want you, okay, if you're listening to this right now, throw some symbols in there that you believe are the GOAT, the greatest of all time in terms of liquidity. Okay. Because everybody asks me, can I build a scanner to do this? Okay. Because we do live trade alerts here. No question about it. And I say, you don't really need to scan. Because why don't you need to scan? You know what I have to do? Just don't even worry about the chart. I just look at this watch list over here. because everything pretty much in my list, okay, is the GOAT. It is the GOAT. Like I don't screw around with stuff in my watch list that isn't the greatest. Like look, NVIDIA, there's 1.5 million contracts. Look at that. Oh, that's 1.5 million contracts. Okay, that's today. How deep into the day are we? We're halfway into the trading session. It's already done 1.5 million contracts. Let's go look at Meta. That's good for 134 contracts. 134,000 contracts. I think we're going to be okay. Okay. I was talking about like silver earlier. You're like, SLV. No, nobody trades that. It's 300,000 contracts. Okay. Let's look at XLF, the financials. That one's boring. It's still doing 35,000 contracts. If you ever have to question liquidity, it's not liquid enough. You need to be the GOAT. Because I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter. Like you guys, look, you can look at charts to your heart's content. I found the MACD and the Bollinger Band and the Fibonacci. Did the 618 people make you do it? Right? You can look at all of that. But if it doesn't have the liquidity, okay, you just simply can't trade it. Like I was trying to show it earlier, okay, and nobody knew probably what I was talking about. But when I was coming in here and I was opening up this November 1st, okay, that's us. When I talk about liquidity, okay, we need liquidity. This thing is up to almost what? It's 5,400 contracts we've already traded in here today. That's just us here at TheoTrade. Okay. That's some big boy size. I mean, our size sticks out. So what do we have to do? You have to be the GOAT. You have to be the GOAT or you're going to move markets. Here's actually the trade in Home Depot. My trade in Home Depot. I want you to see this one is a $5 wide spread, this is a lot more risk. Look at this. Okay, we have almost 2,000 open contracts in here, another 100 traded today. People still jumping into the trade, right? You've got to be the GOAT. Look at this. The next one I'm going to show you, QQQ. This is getting in on what? April 12th, out on April 15th. Every $81 invested, I got back 112 to 38% return. Then I go to Meta. Is that, by the way, is the QQQ, does that qualify to be the GOAT of liquidity? Okay. Only like people put in like two symbols. Come on, people, put some symbols in. What do you got? Let's test. Let's put you through the test. Okay. What do you got? That's the greatest liquidity of all time. Like that's where you have to be, the greatest liquidity of all time. And you don't ever really look back. There's no reason to look back. There's no reason to trade something called like, Joe's tree cutting service. Oh, but the MACD lined up to the Fibonacci, people. Okay. What's interesting? So somebody just said Costco. Okay. Look, the reason I'm doing this is I want you guys to understand Costco. Can I tell you something interesting? It's marginal. Costco is actually marginal. It only has 22,000 contracts. I will trade it periodically, but I rarely ever text a trade out on Costco because its liquidity can't support. Then I look at Boeing. Boeing, it's better. It's in play. Okay. Caterpillar. I've traded Caterpillar in the past, but now it's off. Okay. It's marginal. And I keep those on the screen, but they're marginal liquidity, which is, again, you have to be that greatest of all time. All right. Oh, I love it. Somebody said FXI. Sweet. Okay. That's good. So taking a look like Meta, every $225 invested, I got back 293 at 30% return. By the way, have you noticed also, like I've done several trades in Meta, several trades. Here's another one in TLT. Okay. By the way, this is not the same trade in TLT. This is a more recent trade. Here's one that I actually opened. I'm talking about 24-hour profit windows. This one's interesting as well. I opened it. The profit window opened. Okay. To open to close. Every $92 invested, I got back 124. It's a 35% return in one day. So this is one where that was a big grapefruit that was just sitting there. We took it. This is this next one, Wells Fargo. Okay, this one is also a one-day trade. Every $78 I invested, I got back 106. And again, keep in mind, you could do $780 invested to get back, 1,060. That's fine. It's plausible. It's reasonable. IWM. Okay, all of these. This is what I'm talking about, like Wells Fargo. By the way, if you're kind of questioning, like, does Wells Fargo have good liquidity? No, let's go look. Okay, we're doing it live. So if you're taking a quick glance at this, right, 15,000 marginal today, but rocking at times, absolutely rocking. By the way, all the financials are going to be rocking again because it's right after their, after the earnings and so forth, which is coming up. Then we come to IWM. This one's actually open on August 23rd, closed on September 5th. Every $81 invested, I got back 127. That's a 57% return. Look, new 24-hour profit windows are about to open up and we're going to raid them together. You know, there's ones that I've already got over here, right? Here's what we use, okay, to raid these windows. So when we're talking about going in, like I'm just talking about the profit windows kind of opening, right? So I'm looking for this confluence, right? The exact confluence. Let's get really in detail now. Okay. As I mentioned a moment ago, Home Depot. Home Depot. Look at the movement in here. Earth shattering. Okay. So what's the confluence in here? First of all, skew is huge. This thing's filled with two-sided trade. It just ripped recently. Okay. This thing has 1, 2, 3, 4 breaches, 4 breaches of expected move. Okay. You want to see another one. Look at something like eBay. Now, eBay, okay, this is one where I was like, oh, the liquidity in here, it's marginal. I wanted to show you, okay, a trade that worked and one that will not. This one fits all of the criteria. It's got two-sided trade, it's got everything, but the liquidity is simply not there, okay? And we go on from there. We start looking at like chopped out trade. This is the energy sector. I mean, geopolitical risk right now is through the roof. Look at this thing. Okay, and almost every recent week, it's breaching its expected move. Okay, people, there are spectacular setups right now available. We just hit the SLV trade. Okay, in the SLV trade, when I say we hit the SLV trade, okay, the SLV trade, you know, looking for a breakout to the upside, that pullback was the absolute perfect, okay, pullback, and it pulled back right off the upper edge of the expected move. Okay, again, this, okay, is what we need to actually raid these windows. The in-out advantage. What we are trading right now, okay, is I use the in-out advantage to raid these windows. That is the strategy. That is in context of how we're actually going, okay, and taking advantage of getting in and out of the profit window. Generally speaking, okay, these in-out trades, they open up for approximately 24 hours. That means you've got about, after I send out that text message, okay, you've got to the remainder of the day and usually early the next day to be able to get into these things. This is not something you're going to have to sit in front of your computer screen all day or like hover and like look at the, you know, at the waiting for a text message to come through. Don't worry about it. Okay. Look, with in out, you never have to buy the stock. You're never going to buy or sell the stock. You're not long stock. You're not shorting stock. You're defined risk. If the trade down below here says you have 82-cent debit, you can do one contract, and one contract's equivalent of $82 of risk. There's no one, okay, that can't put up $82 of risk. You pay that for like a Starbucks cup of coffee after inflation, right? So you're defined risk. Risk is limited to precisely your comfort level. If you want to do 82 bucks, great. But if you want to double that and have like 160 odd dollars at risk plus transaction costs are like 50, 60 cents a contract now. It's ridiculously cheap. You're never going to use a stop order. Anything you see on the screen, there's no stop orders in here. What happens when it goes against me? Well, I'll show you exactly what happens goes against you. When it goes against you, okay, they can expire. So take a look. This is a trade that's closed. This is silver. To open. This is open. This one's closed. Okay. When it actually happens, and it will happen. Like, look, down here, okay, are some of the closed orders. These are all the closed orders. Once in a while, something can actually go awry. And when it goes awry, what do? We're going to lose 82 cents. And I got to tell you, I'm fine with it. Okay. Sometimes the losing trades are the greatest trade you're ever going to have. Why? Because you just lost 82 cents. Walk away from it. I don't want you to think, so what? I went 24 for 28. I'll have 3 or 4 losers in a row, and then we'll get right back in the pony and have 8, 10, 15 winners in a row. That's how this goes. Okay. Because I got to tell you, though, it's spectacular. Again, that confluence of events. Okay. You can vary time frames and not pay more. So you're not using stop orders. You have a defined risk. You can vary time frames. When I say vary time frames, you know, when I set one of these trades up, I'll show you something interesting. Okay, we're talking about Home Depot earlier. Okay, we're talking about Home Depot, and my trade is 23 days out. Let's actually construct, okay, a new trade here. All right, this one's fine. Do you see this trade? Okay, in 2 seconds, I just brought up a trade. This one, okay, the 410, 405. Now, I have it for October 25th. Could I extend the trade further out? Okay, yes. Does it cost me much more? No, not really. Okay, I can extend the trade further out in time. Let's go all the way to December. Oh no, it only costs what? 12 cents more? Who cares? By the way, this actually has to do with dividends. So it doesn't cost more to do the trade further out in time. Like here's November 1st. My trade's in October, which is what? 210. So the trade's in October, but I could do November and it costs 210. I could do November 8th and it even costs less. Oh my, right? November 15th, to what? 215. Oh, hurt me. You can actually extend the trade longer in time and it does not cost more. The probability of profitability is high. People go, well, why? Because you get to hold the trade. If I have 82 cents at risk, just stop for a second. Okay. If I have 82 cents at risk, what's the most I could possibly lose? Okay. You go 82 cents. Okay. You can lose 82 cents in here. So if the trade starts going against me, forget about profitability for a second. If this trade starts going against me, what's the most I can lose? 82 cents. And knowing that, you're like, I don't have to have a stop order. I don't have to have any of this. So you can't get stopped out. Okay. It's spectacular. Why? So what if the trade goes against you? Right now, in my Home Depot trade, I just put this one on. I just put this one on the other day. It's going against me for 3 days in a row. I'm okay. Why? Because it can go against me for like a week, a month. I don't care. I know what my risk is. I only need, okay? I don't need a lot of hits. I just need one. That's all I need is one pullback. And with the kind of two-sided trade that we've seen in Home Depot, okay, I think we're actually going to be there. Look, do I know if the Home Depot trade is going to make money? Absolutely not. Okay. But I go in with the exact same logic and the same confluence of events. Look, the probability of profitability is high because you can sustain the trades through thick or thin. It's just the perfect trade to reduce one's portfolio risk because you don't have to go out there and buy or sell the stock. It's also an excellent tool. Okay, for those of you seeking returns to build a smaller account. And by the way, you absolutely can do this in an IRA. Don't ever let anybody tell you, oh, I can't do it in my IRA. Of course, you can trade it in an IRA, right? Of course, you can trade anything you want in an IRA. People, but they won't let me, okay, do it. Of course they won't, okay? But here, you know what? Let's actually go into an IRA. Let's make a quick point because here, see where it says rollover IRA right there? Okay, let's do this. Let's go into Home Depot. Okay, so oh yeah, I'm flagged as a day trader. It was warning me. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that, the messages. I have been flagged, okay, as a day trader. By the way, that's not a bad thing. You naughty animal. Okay, you naughty animal. This is like an older rollover IRA. By the way, most of my IRAs have actually moved over here. But inside, okay, of my IRA, okay, you can absolutely trade these spreads, right? They're right there for you. So anybody can trade these particular spreads. So that's there for you. All right, onward and upward over here. Okay, as you actually take a look at this, look, no time, no problem. Every trade that we're showing you here today, okay, all right, every trade we're showing you here today was displayed live at TheoTrade, texted out to people. Okay, we do text, we do push notification. How do we do push notification? Right through a mobile application. Like we have our own mobile app. In fact, I can even bring that up on here. Okay, we've got our own mobile application in here. Let's see if I can actually see that. TheoTrade. Okay, in-out advantage is hands-off. You can even use set and forget order types, which is GTC. So even a fraction of your time is enough to actually see results. Here we have trade alerts. Okay, what are we offering? In-out advantage, lifetime access. It's $9.97. Okay, I am the trader for this, meaning that when I place a trade, okay, we literally text it out to you. When I place a trade, we text it out to you. It's the in-out advantage weekly trade alerts. In addition to this, and again, this lifetime access. So you got to think about like, well, how often do you trade? Just time out for a second. How often do I trade? And I'm going to get to all of this. Okay, we trade approximately once a week. Okay. Now, sometimes I reserve the right not to trade for a week and then trade 2-3 times the next week, just to give you an idea. How many trades have we been doing lately? Okay. Here, just take a look at some of the opening orders, right? These are opening orders. There's 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades have been done in September. September just ended. So I did 6 trades in September. So I'm actually ahead of the curve. So we're doing about a trade a week and sending it out. Now, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, I'm a little lost. I don't even know if I could execute upon this. Great. We have a 12-week mastermind with Brandon Chapman. You're going to get 12 weeks just about in-out advantage, about everything we're discussing today. 12 weeks, okay? Do you think you can learn about it? You have lifetime access to it. So, you don't have to rush to be like, I got to get some trades on. I got to make my money back. It'll come. It's okay. You can absolutely get some trades on. You can get your money back. It's fine. But it's 12-week mastermind. with Brandon Chapman. Okay. We do a session a week. It starts October 3rd. You're like, it's October 2nd. Don't worry. Everything that Brandon Chapman does, says, and is will be recorded. Everything that he does. You have all the email support. We give you unlimited email support. So you have to understand, we're not just coming in here and saying like, hey, go out there and follow the trades. It's $1,000. You get to follow the trades. I'm the trade instructor. Then you actually get the mastermind. It's included. The mastermind alone is worth a couple $1,000s. Okay. Then we give you weekly video updates. You realize if you did this for a few years, how much, okay, there is packed in here. Like every single trade that you place, you're paying a couple of pennies for it. Who cares? Right? We are also giving you an In-Out Advantage Quick Start Beginner's Guide. That is for people that just want to get started tomorrow. We have also, okay, the actual class, the original master class that I put together for this. The In-Out Advantage is by far and away, okay, the most kind of revered class, the most watched class ever at TheoTrade by far. Okay. I've actually done several different iterations of this particular class, but it's the most refined class as well. The class is already recorded. It's ready to go. You're like, it's not old though. It's again, it's a very, very cool class. You guys will love it. Also, we give you the trade tracker. If you've been seeing, I've been pulling up on my screen, we will give you access to the trade tracker. Okay. Here is the trade tracker. This is the entire list of all the trades that we've done. By the way, good, bad, and indifferent. Like, I don't mind showing you. Look, this one expired. What happens when it expires? You're a loser. There's not too many expired trades in there. I see 2 of them. Okay. 2 of them in here. I don't mind showing you win, lose, because everybody's, what happens if you will have losing trades? Okay. You human. We lose from time to time. Okay. But this is about a great confluence. Right. And again, everybody was asking, what about the losers? I like to focus on that. Okay. You want to know if people really trade? Look at their account. I'm willing to show you everything I do. Look, all of this, okay, all of this, including the expected move, it's $1,000. It's theotrade.com/out. Now I'm going to take you over to that because I want to explain something. I want to explain everything that's covered in here, but it's theotrade.com/out. It's O as in out, U as in out. T is an out. All right. It's theotrade.com/out. But as I take you over to this page, I just want to show you everything that's involved. You just scroll down to the page, the bottom of the page. It's $9.97. You can even break it up into multiple payments. Okay. Feel free to take a look at the page. Before I go any further, I want you guys to know there's a full 90-day money back guarantee. And we do that because, look, bottom line, and I always say this, we want people that want to be here. You know, obviously people are here. People are trading this stuff. That's a question that I get again all the time. All right. What I mean by that is like, does anybody actually follow this crap? Yeah, look, there's 2,000 contracts open. Yeah, has anybody ever follow this crap? Yeah, here's SLV, which I actually opened and then closed. Okay. So the closing order is in here today and it sticks out like a sore thumb. You can see almost 3,000 contracts trading at each strike. Just to give you an idea of how many people are in there. Even if you did 5 contracts, okay, there's a still, okay, oh, you know what, almost 1,000 plus people on this. There's actually a lot more than that, okay? And if we get bigger, what do we do? All right, we won't offer it anymore. This is lifetime access to it. If you're not satisfied in the next 90 days, just email us. You don't have to call us. You don't have to email us. Support@theotrade.com, receive a full refund. Look, I know it's only $1,000, okay? And it's not like life or death over here. You got to decide if something's right for you. I also recognize people sometimes do stuff and then life gets in the way. Look, there are no stipulations, okay, to this. The 90-day money back guarantee, there's no stipulations. You don't have to trade. You don't have to do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Okay. You don't have to give blood to get out. I always think of like a gym membership. By the way, we're very, very, okay, you know, hardcore about this because we only, again, we want people that want to be here, period. There's no excuses, no questions, no commentary. Okay. If you ain't happy, just email us, get your money back. Right. And that's important. Okay. So onward from there. And I want you to know, again, there's a full money back guarantee on there. It is also restipulated as you scroll down. Okay. And by the way, somebody's inevitably going to ask this, so I'll just front run you on here. What happens if you go to the mentorship and you're a couple weeks in and if it's not for you? I get it. Okay. I get it. I can still I'll give you a hug and it's okay. I'll still love you. As I said, the interesting thing about TheoTrade is we've been around now after Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade. We've been around since 2016, right? And we'll have people that'll be like fully involved in TheoTrade for like years. Okay, they'll disappear for a year or two, and then everybody always comes back. Everybody comes back. And it's actually one of the reasons we're starting to do the lifetime stuff. We never did this lifetime before because we realized, as I said, like life kind of gets in the way. Oh, I had, a relative that I had to take care of for like a year or two, but I'm back. I'm serious. If those of you that are listening to this right now, you tell them, okay, no one ever leaves TheoTrade. There's nowhere else to go. No one puts together, okay, a program with this level, okay, of education and this level of execution. There's just no one else out there that does this stuff. And that's why we say we kind of put our money where our mouth is. It's $1,000, but if you're not happy, like get your money back at any time. One other aspect in here, when you're filling this out, put your phone number in. The reason you want to put your phone number in over there, okay? By the way, yeah, Tom, you can look at the aggregated returns over there. So you put your phone number in because that's the phone number we actually text out to. So that is the phone number we definitely text out to. So the reason, by the way, we're only showing the last 28 trades. It's like, oh, why did you do that? We changed how the service worked completely. So we actually took the service and put it. So I'll actually show you guys exactly. Okay. So we actually changed how we do the in-out advantage service. We used to keep all of the trades, okay, exclusively in a separated portfolio, kind of mixed, okay, in a mixed portfolio. And we changed again. I can't get it on here. So I apologize. I'm trying to show you guys where it is in here. But we actually changed how we send out the trades. And in doing so, we switched up the portfolio in here. We moved from what was called the trade tracker. I'm going to find it for you guys. I apologize. My fonts are all blown up, so it's impossible to see. Okay. So we moved from what was called the trade tracker and switched it up. So if you wanted to see every single trade, we can give you access to that as well. Here it is. Here we go. Apologize for that. Okay. So again, we're very much no holds barred. This is the trade tracker. And what I was doing is I was doing not just in-out spreads in here. I was doing like VIX vol spreads. Okay. So we actually changed and moved to pure in-out advantage to not confuse different strategies. And we broke this into a different portfolio. Okay. We're 24 for 28, but more than happy to give you access to all of that information. Look, what you get with this. So as you guys are enrolling, by the way, as you guys are enrolling, a couple things. Number one, I'm going to describe everything that comes with this. So as you're enrolling for it, everything that comes with this, and then I'm going to answer questions in detail. So no problem. And by the way, we've actually got Jeff answering questions, Roman answering questions. Okay, I think Brian's also in here answering questions. So we'll either type you an answer or I will verbally respond to you. All right, let's get into it. What do you get with this? It's about one alert per week. As I showed you, I did 6 in-outs in September because, as I said, when it's hot, it's hot. And when it's hot, I'm going to go after it. Okay. By the way, I don't sit here and think to myself, like I don't stay up late and like, I got to do a trade this week. Okay. I got to be honest with you. I don't give a damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's also 6 trades in August. Okay. What I do in July, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 in July. Okay. And I'm just showing you that because it is from time to time a little uneven. Like it's not going to work out like here comes my trade per week. It's when it's available and when the execution's ready, when that profit window opens, I jump on it. And what happens very often is I can like disappear and go dormant for 10 days. Not disappearing. I'm just sitting here like salivating. By the way, I sit in front of my computer, whether TheoTrade or not, I'd still sit in front of my computer. People always ask me how this company got started. It's after I left TD Ameritrade, I had to go home and do nothing for a period of time. So my exit clause of TD Ameritrade, they go, if you want to keep your millions of dollars, you will sit at home and do nothing for X amount of time. So I did. And I would sit in my office just like I am right now, and I'd start yelling at my computer screen. And my wife, she's like, first of all, she's like, you're going to have to do something if we're going to stay married. She's like, secondly, she goes, you might want to put a microphone in front of your face. She goes, because the crap that you're saying, people might actually want to hear. That's honestly how TheoTrade got started. People might want to hear the crap you have to say. And I'm like, can I make it R-rated? She's like, probably not. But anyway, one alert, okay, a week, 4 alerts per month, 52 alerts a year, 520 alerts per decade. Like, again, this is the part that I was saying. It's unlimited access to it. Okay. It's unlimited access. So it's $1,000 and you get, like, if you want a decade, it's fine. By the way, I'll still be here in a decade. Okay. And then the people are like, what if you're going to disappear? Not disappearing. I have nowhere to go. Okay. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have kids now that are, my youngest is about to turn 10. Okay. I'm going to work till I'm 152 or I'm going to go completely nuts. I tried to do, I tried to do the stay at home thing. Okay. I did. I tried hard. That's not going to be me. Anyway, all of this is a $3,000 value. That's just the trade alerts. The next thing, this is the coolest thing, in my opinion. We just added this. Okay. Why? All of our research here at TheoTrade points to one thing. Okay. People do better, okay, when supported initially. In any of our programs, we went through and we said, what if we gave somebody in-out advantage? Boom, we gave them in-out advantage. Then we said, what if we actually give them in-out advantage and they go through a mastermind? We've been like trying this out for years. Now, okay, this is the way it goes. You do in-out advantage, you get access to the mastermind. Why? Because the clients that went through Brandon Chapman's mastermind, okay, are infinitely better off than the clients that had not, meaning they have a deeper understanding of the trades, okay, deeper understanding of trade execution, and the longevity of you, okay, is much greater. So look, by the way, that's self-fulfilling a little bit. You become a better client for us, you become a better client for the brokerage firm. That means you're making money. Okay. I don't mind saying that to anybody in here. Okay. It's a little, self-satisfying over here. Like, hey, we're going to give you a mastermind. Do you know why we're going to give you a mastermind? It's 12 weeks. We could have made it 3 weeks. We could have made it 4 weeks. We dialed this crap in. It's 12 weeks. Okay. Because we know the more support we provide you, the better you're going to do. Period. Starts October 3rd. That's why we're hosting this today. Okay, we've been talking about this October 3rd date now for a few weeks. Guess what? October 3rd comes tomorrow. If you can't make it tomorrow, like, I get it. Okay, I get it. It'll be recorded. So don't panic because some people are like, oh, I can't make it tomorrow. And it's an unusual time for me. It's okay. Every one of you should know you can listen to that mastermind. Okay, you can listen to the mastermind and you can shoot Brandon an emails. Okay, by the way, Brandon has an entire group that's going to help answer his emails, including, okay, Todd Sweet, myself, and of course, Brandon. So this is about structuring the in-out trade. We're going to talk about structuring the trade in detail. Okay, we're going to talk about advanced in-out spread setups. Okay, executing upon your in-out plan. Okay, all of this, again, all of this is actually covered in here. All the questions you can ask an email. So all the email support is in there as well. It's $2,000 value. Okay. Whoops. On-demand access. So you get lifetime access to the class itself. And that, once again, I'm pulling it up over here. Okay. That is actually on our mobile application. So you get on-demand access to the in and out spread course on here. It's $1,000 value. That has all of the criteria in it. When I'm talking about criteria, okay, I'm talking about criteria, the specifics, the nuts and bolts, okay, behind the trade. All right, weekly position updates and upcoming opportunities. This is another aspect that I wanted to display to you. All right, so, oh, cool. Text alerts are for US and Canada. I'll talk about push notification as well. So in here, right, this is a weekly update. For instance, the last weekly update, it's every Friday we do this. The last weekly update was September 27th. Okay. If you go ahead and click on that, what it's doing is it's bringing you to a video. Okay. That's a video. I do the videos. So you get to kind of. Don Kaufman here. It's September 27th. It wrong. this week. This is Home Depot. I'm just looking for one very, my head over here. What did I pay? Looking in here is the Fierce Nation, 90 cents, 89 cents, 89 cents. I'm actually showing you literally the videos that we're doing. Okay. This is a weekly video that I produce. That video in 8 minutes covers everything we've done. All right. Everything we've done in terms of in-outs. So we don't just like leave you, over there. Okay. Okay. By the way, you can watch this through the app or you can actually watch this on the website. Totally up to you. And this is a TheoTrade app, and it's both Android and iPhone. All right, step by step. Okay, beginner friendly. This is a quick start beginner's guide specifically to in-out advantage. All right. Again, theotrade.com/out. Real-time portfolio updates. When I do a trade, okay, when I do a trade, that trade goes into this portfolio immediately. Again, when I do a trade, that trade goes into the portfolio immediately in there. So very important that you guys know you have access, obviously, to this portfolio. Custom built industry looking forward-looking optics, and this is the auto expected move. Okay, so in terms of auto expected move, we'll actually give you a copy of this. By the way, you can translate this to a more universal platform if you so choose. So there's a number of charting services that if you're not comfortable or not on Thinkorswim, you don't have to be on Thinkorswim. You don't have to be on Tasty. Okay, those are the brokerage firms that we happen to use. Okay, but neither of them is required for what we do over here. So yeah, be aware of that. Here, everything that we actually offer in here, we've got trade alerts. Obviously, it's unlimited trade alerts, 12-week mastermind. We give you the in-out advantage masterclass. Okay. Again, this 12-week mastermind, it starts tomorrow. So please, okay, as you're actually looking at this right now, if you've got questions in here, okay, I'll give you a number in just a moment. You can actually reach us when filling out this form, though. Be aware that this is recorded. Every spoken word here at TheoTrade is recorded. We have the masterclass auto expected move, okay, the weekly updates. So at any point, you can hop in, okay, and you're like, I have no idea. I missed 2 weeks. What's he doing? You can actually look at the video update, okay. In 8 minutes, you'll know exactly where we are, what positions we have on, what we've taken off, everything. Quick start beginner's guide, okay, and of course the trade tracker. And the trade tracker is actually looking at everything that we've done, right? And it's great, okay. So this is everything. It's $9.97 again. I am the trader for this. That doesn't change. In-out advantage weekly alerts, 12-week mastermind. Okay. All the video updates, the quick start beginner's guide. Okay. On-demand masters class, trade tracker, auto expected move. And again, I remind you guys, there's a 90-day money back guarantee. And there's 100 spots in the 90-day money back guarantee. And we do that to incentivize you guys to enroll for it and enroll today for it. Right. By the way, a few names that are coming through: Mark P. from California, David B. from Wisconsin, David G. from South Carolina, Charles S. from Florida. By the way, as I'm reading your names, those are individuals, and I thank you guys that have enrolled. Okay. It takes me, it's about 7 minutes before I actually see that you've enrolled in here. So, forgive me if I don't call everybody's name out that's actually enrolled. Okay. The retail value of what we're offering today is about $8,382. It's $1,000. I mean, we put like a literal retail value to it because the trade alerts, it's lifetime access. His mastermind is really, it's legit. It's $2,000. I mean, it's approximately an hour to 90 minutes, okay, for 12 weeks. And then we give you unlimited email support to it. So I hope you guys kind of appreciate that, because it's not inexpensive for us to actually do that. I mean, at that point, it's not inexpensive to host a 12-week, mastermind. And we're doing it because of the longevity. Look, we want you guys to be clients. We want you guys to be clients for life. And that's why we're actually doing lifetime access in here. Again, we're doing the 90-day money back guarantee. Make sure it's right for you. Make sure that you're comfortable. Okay. And there's absolutely no stipulations. As I always say, we're pretty hardcore about, we want people that want to be here. Next, if you need us right now, call us 623-244-5657. Okay, that's 623-244-5657. We offer this because some people just do not like putting their credit card in online. I totally get it. Or you have an ancillary question that you're not comfortable asking, okay, in the main room. So Jeff is actually in the main room. Roman's in the main room. By the way, Jeff that's in the main room that's answering questions is one of the other founders of TheoTrade. Like we don't screw around. We don't, sit in a special office or anything like that. Okay. We answer questions. We answer emails. I answer emails. Okay. If I don't have 2, 3 hours of email a day, it ain't a day. I answer a lot of emails, but if you need us, call us. Go to theotrade.com/out. Now I'm going to answer some questions here in a moment. I just wanted to reiterate to people in filling this out. This is theotrade.com/out. Theotrade.com/out. As you actually scroll down over here, okay, you select payment information. The one thing I reiterate, put the correct phone number in, right? Put the correct phone number in. Somebody said, is the mastermind on WisePub or a different streaming source? Actually, I think we're going to use WisePub this time. Okay, I think we are going to use WisePub. Obviously, watching it played back would be Vimeo. That's an interesting question. No one's ever asked that before. Okay, can I ask you, SJ1, do you like WisePub? It matters to us. It does matter to us. Look, get into in-out advantage now. We're going to work with you directly. There's 100 spots on the riskless deal. Okay. Now we do limit eventually the number of people that get in here because how many contracts can you possibly do? And I've thought a lot about this recently because we did a trade in SLV the other day that had over 3,500 contracts open. Okay. We've done other trades that have had 5,000 to 6,000 contracts open. We're not quite at the point where we're moving markets, but we're not far off. We also provide you unlimited email mentoring. Okay. And that to me, like, look, when I say unlimited email mentoring, you can email us and ask us trade related questions. You don't have to say it was my sister's friend's boyfriend that had this trade idea. Just people come out with it already. Unlimited email mentoring. Okay. That alone is worth $1,000. And I mean, I don't care what anybody says, you can't like get on your phone anymore. Like, Charles Schwab. You guys remember like a couple of years ago? It's more than a couple of years ago now. What was the slogan for Charles Schwab? Literally a few years ago, what was the slogan for Charles Schwab? Ask Chuck. That was the slogan. You know what? Right now, Chuck don't want to talk to you. Chuck ain't going to answer the phone. Okay. And if they do, they can't say anything anymore. The regulatory environment has never been more harsh. Brokers can't say anything anymore. Okay. We are it. You can ask us any question. It doesn't have to be just about in-out advantage. You got a trade related question. You got an investment related question. Maybe pay the $1,000 just to be able to email us. We should do that. We should just have, hey, pay $1,000, ask us questions because we don't pick up the phone for trades, but we will answer it via email and we will get back to you within 24 hours. Look, send us your trades. Okay, bounce trade ideas off of us. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it just for that. We never did this $1,000 riskless offer before because it's in-out advantage lifetime access. We just tried out this lifetime access, okay, and we're giving you Brandon Chapman's 12-week mastermind, no stipulations on that, no stipulations whatsoever. Look, let's do a little bit of Q&A over here, answer a couple questions, and hopefully answer some questions directly from chat. Okay. All right. People always ask the question, what do you need to get started? Okay, what do you need to get started? What do you need to get started? Not a lot. Okay, not a lot over here. So, by the way, I'm looking at there's a bunch more names coming through right now that I can see you guys are enrolling. So, thank you, and I'll read off some of the names as we go. But I'm going to answer a few of the questions and not get too distracted over here. But what do you need to get started? A laptop, internet connection. I'll be very frank in saying you don't even need a laptop anymore. Now we're doing everything off the mobile device. Okay, they're good enough. You don't, by the way, even building the trades, okay, you don't, I know we're giving you, I was talking about this earlier today. I know we're giving you the expected move, okay, in here. Like somebody was asking about, can you use expected move with Interactive Brokers? Interactive Brokers is not like the most like friendly place to do business. I'm not picking on Interactive Brokers. I know people there. By the way, I know people at every brokerage firm. I know, one of the girls that actually worked with me at Thinkorswim, Mary Ryan, she went on to actually run part of Morgan Stanley. She runs E-Trade, okay, at Morgan Stanley. She's awesome, okay. The other guy that, was a right-hand man to me was JJ Kinahan. JJ Kinahan now runs Tasty Trade, okay. The other really close one to us was Stephen Quirk. Steve Quirk now runs Robinhood. So I'm dead serious. Like if you look at like the people that were the core of executives at Thinkorswim, okay, they're Tasty, they're E-Trade, they're Robinhood, okay, or Charles Schwab. So that's it. That's the only selections you really have. What about Fidelity? You wouldn't even worry about them. We don't even worry about Fido. Anyway, I was talking about this earlier today. You don't really need the expected move. It's nice to kind of have because you can kind of fish for your own trades, but you don't need it. Why don't you need it? Because I'm the one actually sending out the trades. Okay. Oh, somebody said interesting. CWR came in and said Canadians don't have access to those apps. Okay. So here is one. If you're Canadian, you will eventually have Tasty. So Tasty Trade is approved in Canada, but their clearing firm is not, which is frustrating right now. So Tasty Trade is going global all over Europe. Tasty Trade's now approved in all over Europe. You're going to be able to trade on Tasty, it's great. It's great. It's really going to open it up. By the way, if you're in Canada, okay, you really should use Interactive Brokers. I'm not trying to knock Interactive Brokers. You just don't have a lot of flexibility, which is frustrating. Anyway, so you don't have to have the indicator because I'm the one executing the trades and sending them out, but it's nice to have it. But there is another trading, or I should say, there's a charting platform available to everybody. We can email you the code for that, and anybody and everybody can see it. Okay, we have everything though you're going to need to get started. So look, anything and everything to need to get started, from absolute novice to the most extreme traders. Okay, I don't care how many years of experience you've got over here. Like I've been in the business since 98. I kind of grew up around it. Jeff Bierman's been in this business longer than I have. Okay. Brandon Chapman's been in the business about the same time as me. Blake Young has been in the business about the same time as me. We have hundreds of combined years of experience, not 100, hundreds of years of experience in the business. Corey Rosenblum is in for 23 years. It's a lot. Okay. By the way, a few more names as I go through here. Ivan M. from Florida. Okay. Wouter B. from Belgium. I hope I actually got that name right. By the way, in Belgium, you should definitely look into Tasty. I guarantee that they take care of everybody in Belgium at this point. As we have a number of clients like Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands. I mean, we're in contact with also with Tasty about a bunch of those. Okay. Oh, cool. He has IB. Well, it's got IB. Nice. I'm going to butcher this name, but we're just going to call you Bish G from California. Bish, okay? I kind of like that as a nickname, by the way. Bish G from California, James H from Florida, Robert S from Georgia. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So moving on over here. This is not a membership. We don't renew, okay, or auto-bill you. This is lifetime access. Okay. We give you access to Trade Tracker weekly update videos. The weekly update videos, it's just me, and I do this every Friday morning. Every Friday morning, I send out an 8-minute video, and we actually email it out, but then it's also on our site. So if you can't watch it and then we email it, it is what it is. By the way, somebody was asking me where the link was. Okay. The link is right here. You can just click on that link. Okay. It takes you right to the page. Okay. Or you can click right up here. It takes you right to the page. Apologize. Just showing you guys that one. Okay. That's where I'm reading chat. I'm reading chat over there. So you get the weekly video updates. We're going to provide you access to TheoTrade Mobile. You can download the archives, view at your leisure. TheoTrade Mobile is pretty powerful. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're out of the United States, okay, in the United States, you can get text messages. Unless, of course, you're Verizon. Didn't Verizon have a huge outage? Was it Monday this week? Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. Okay, I think it was Monday. I'm not on Verizon, but I heard about it because, of course, that was a day that we sent out a text message. We sent out a text message. People say, I'm down on Verizon. I said, don't worry. The profit window was actually still open, and we're good. That was actually the silver trade. So anyway, we're providing weekly updates. Next, TheoTrade Mobile. You can download the archives, add your cell phone number when enrolling to receive trade ideas. So on the enrollment form, it's like the third time I've mentioned it, but it is important. Okay. On that enrollment form, put your phone number down over there. Okay. That is important. Obviously, email us anytime, receive a response within 24 hours. By the way, we take this very, very seriously. If you email us, do not email me, okay, on a Friday afternoon with 4 minutes to go to the close. Be like, we're traders. We trade. Most of the emails we answer are before market is open or after the market's closed. During the trading session, I trade. I will sit here if it's a slow day and I'll answer some emails. I mean, today, okay, kind of slopping around a little bit today, waiting for the next news that's coming out tomorrow and Friday, but slopping around, but I might answer some emails, but predominantly we answer emails before and after the market closes. Variations of all of the trades are available inside of an IRA or retirement account with as little as $2,000 in the account, okay? We can also help you get approved for options at several major brokers. So listen to me. Okay. And then we'll kind of answer some questions specifically in here. Listen to me. If you ever have a problem with a brokerage firm, okay, email us, let us know about it. Okay. If you're like, oh, I'm not approved to do this, or they won't let me do that, or I can't do this in my IRA, let us know because we have brokers that work with us. There's no option approval levels to like level 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to push all that stuff aside. Okay. It's your money. You do what you want with your money. All right. And I spent over 15 years just on the brokerage side of it. Okay. We know that business cold. So we know what you can and can't do. We know all the regulatory process behind it. There's no question. Okay. I mean, I still have a phone number on my phone from like one of the people that runs FINRA. Literally, like I, keep in touch with the guy that runs FINRA. So we know all the regulatory side of it. Look, there's 100 riskless trade spots available. Get results, take action, roll for TheoTrade now. There's no risk to you. Absolutely no risk to you. So answer a few more questions and we'll kind of wrap things up over here. Again, today it's $997. You can do 2 payments of $500. That's fine with us. Okay, whatever it may be, but there is a 90-day money back guarantee over there. Okay. Buzzy was saying, are most of the trades called puts and calls? Absolutely. Okay, they are option trades. All right, so they are option trades. And that is a very fair question. Again, it's theotrade.com/out. Okay. All right, Philip, I think Jeff's actually going to answer that question for you in there. I want to make sure everybody's good. Okay. By the way, Canadian, if you are in Canada or around the world, please let us know where you are and we will help match up the better brokerage firm for that area. I'll just give you an example. We have a lot of clientele in Singapore. So I actually personally helped open the office in Singapore. I've spent months on the ground in Singapore. I'm really familiar with MAS, which is the Singapore Monetary Authority. I've actually met with them a number of times over the years. I'm actually familiar with Canadian regulations, Aussies, if you're an Australian, okay, totally familiar with their regulations. I even took an Australian test, taken several of the Canadian tests. Okay, by the way, none of the regulators ever scared me with exception of Singapore. I met with the regulators there and I'm like, I'm scared. I am scared. Okay. Anyway, I think we got most of the questions answered. I want to thank everybody for actually tuning in today. Again, it's theotrade.com/out. Remember, Brandon Chapman, that mentorship begins tomorrow. Okay. 12-week mastermind kicks off tomorrow. It's right at the market close. Okay. I think you guys will really enjoy that. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Those of you that are watching this live, fantastic. I really appreciate kind of going back and forth with you a little bit. You guys are welcome to take a look at this. By the way, the average win in there, okay, is in the neighborhood. So you're 30% in the first 3 days or 55% thereafter. If you actually averaged it in the number of trades, okay, you're about a 53% gain in the average win. Again, about a 53% gain in the average win. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.